Good day everyone. I am Nina Maureen Bangis, and today I am going to discuss the chapter 7 entitled The Significance of Developmental and Socio-Cultural Dimensions of Learning in Selecting Strategies and Methodologies. So we have here first the intended learning outcome, which is to determine the significance of developmental and socio-cultural dimensions of learning in selecting strategies and methodologies. So, we have here a brief introduction. We know that in the previous chapter, the learner-centered theories as well as the results of research along the socio-cultural dimensions of learning are presented. So, the findings of research are the empirical basis that lend proof to the veracity or accuracy of a theory. So, empirical findings provide a test of how close the ideas and concept advanced by the theories to realities. Now, more importantly, for educational practitioners, both theories and findings of research serves as a source of ideas and the application of the socio-cultural dimensions of learning to classroom teaching. These applications have to do with methodologies, approaches, and techniques to teaching. Knowing what best practices in teaching to adapt and being discriminating of the various choices of methodologies and instructional materials available for use. So, the learning point of this chapter is the educational implications of socio-cultural and other contextual theories. So, we have here the educational implications of Vygotsky's theory and other contextual perspectives. So, first is learners can think more effectively when they acquire the basic cognitive tools or various activities and academic disciplines. So, here it is presented that learners can think more effectively when they acquire the basic cognitive tools of various activities and academic disciplines. So, the implication of this perspective lies in the importance of developing first among the learners the basic thinking tools that will enable them to solve problems and answer questions that they will eventually meet. So, next is children learn and remember more when they talk about their experiences. So, talking about their experiences helps children interpret their experience and in culturally approved and appropriate ways. So, the more children talk about their experiences is the more children remember of what they learn. Next is children should have opportunity to engage in activities that closely resemble those that will they encounter in adult world. So these activities are called authentic activities, in which the teachers are encouraged to make use of. So since these activities resemble the real world tasks and problems, students are able to derive meaning from this because they can make connections between what they learn in school and what they experience outside school. So, with the use of authentic activities, makabalo ang bata kung unsa ilang na-learn sa school and the experiences that they have outside school. They can make connections in both. So, that's how the children learn. Next is children often acquire better strategies when they collaborate or work with adults on complex tasks. So working with adults will enable them to learn developmentally and advanced strategies. So with teachers or adults like their parents nga naa sa ilang tapad in learning, they can acquire better strategies and be collaborative in working complex tasks. So next is challenging tasks, especially when sufficiently scaffolded tend to hasten cognitive development. So this means that the teacher should provide as many support and aids. Opportunities that children can perform successfully should be made available to them. So in giving challenging tasks, it is sufficient that it should be scaffolded, or the teacher do it first and then the students. So the teacher as well should provide as many support and aids that can help the children to learn more, and also solve the challenging task. Next is technology-based software and applications can effectively scaffold many challenging tasks and occasionally offer good alternatives to real-world activities and problems. So there are computerized instructional materials and applications which can approximate real experiences and problems. So as of today, since we have technology-based software and applications that can help the children to learn more and have real world activities and problems that is provided through technology, such as YouTube and other applications that are present today. So it can also help how the children learn. Then next is children's abilities should be assessed under a variety of work conditions. So by knowing this, appropriate interventions or to address gaps in the student's ability can be properly done. So in in order to know the children's ability, it should be assessed in variety of work conditions. So we need to assess kung ang student ba is maka-work ba siya under pressure, or this kind of environment wherein igang or walay appropriate interventions ginasa siya in order for us to know the child's abilities. So by knowing this, na ma-address na to ang gaps, ma-provide na to siya og proper environment or proper interventions in which na makahelp sa bata to um in order to learn more effectively. Then next is group learning activities can help children internalize cognitive strategies. So, group activities like group study sessions, class discussions, debates about controversial issues, collaborative problem solving help learners develop and acquire more sophisticated strategies than what they would have learned in early interaction. So, with the use of group learning activities, So with the use of group learning activities, mas ma-enhance or mas ma-internalize ang cognitive strategies sa mga bata since they are working with their peers. So that is how group activities are being used para mas maka-interact sila sa ilang peers, and how they manage to socialize, to get ideas, gather ideas, and also um, make solutions to problems with together with their peers. So we have here the peer interactive instructional strategies. So there is now a growing recognition of the value of having students work together for them to construct their own meaning about the subject matter. So in peer interactive instructional strategies, the students are being grouped and then grouped with their peers in order for them to discuss and construct their own meaning to certain subject matters. So, in doing so, they can explain, explore, discuss, and debate certain topics either in small or big groups. So, with the use of groupings, the children can explain and explore different topics and discuss it with their peers, and that means that the learning is being spread across many minds from which the learners can draw multiple ideas. So, with the use of peer interactive instructional strategies, the children can generate ideas, gather ideas from each other, and they can generate or have um, good and appropriate um, conclusions and solutions to different problems that they encounter or they discuss. Okay, so with the use of peer interactive instructional strategies, it enables the learners to do the following. So, first, they can clarify and organize their ideas and justify their ideas. Next, they tend to elaborate on what they learn. Then, they are exposed to others' views, widening their knowledge and perspectives. They also may discover flaws of their thinking and do self-correction. Then they can gain more complex and sophisticated thinking and reasoning skills. They can practice their argumentation skills, which experts use to advance knowledge. And they can acquire a more sophisticated view of the nature of knowledge and learning. So, that means that with the use of peer interactive instructional strategies, it enables the learners to have or clarify and organize their ideas. They can elaborate with each other. Are exposed to different knowledge and perspectives, so their knowledge and perspectives also are being challenged. And when they think that they have flaws in their thinking, they can do self-correction. And then and then they can also acquire reasoning skills and argumentation skills and have more sophisticated view of the nature of knowledge and learning. So